get into basketball?
Growing up in the projects, nursery projects, had a court behind the house, behind our building. We just played all day, all night. The light stayed on. Eventually, when I got old enough, at 6 years old, we went to the boys club, and it carried on there. But it all started in the projects, and at the same time, none of my parents played sports at all. My dad was a bass player, my mom was a nurse, so it was just basically me and my brother.
Who is Rudy?
Rudy, yeah,
Smith,
my older brother.
Another formidable player out of Central High School. Well, go ahead.
Yeah,
he's older or younger than you?
Yeah, he's older than me. He's a year and a half older than me. He eventually ended up playing with Trav and got a national championship as well.
That's right.
But yeah, he kind of put the ball in my hands and we both ran with it.
A lot of wars out here. Tell me a quick story about a Van Horn story when you were playing basketball coming up.
You think? I could say there was a time where it was me and Josh Presley, a bunch of young guys, playing against some veterans.
Yep.
That thought that they was gonna run us off the court.
That's how it would be.
So we came up here and we ran them off the court, but at the same time we made it like a series. So we was doing at least 2 or 3 games every Saturday or Sunday. And at the same time they didn't know it, but we was getting better.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You working on your craft.
Right.
Each time.
Right.
So you would specifically come out and work on parts of your games or your overall game? What was the win-loss the biggest thing for what?
Well, not that. It was working on the game, but at the same time, we was young. We was trying to get respect from all the older guys. You know what I mean? And the trash talk, it got heavy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which made everybody play harder. You know, it made more people want to come to the park and play us. You know, and play against the veterans.
So how did that do for your passion for basketball? Do you think that's a needed ingredient?
Oh, definitely. And
is it a missing ingredient for, would you say, today's youth? Or today's game? Yes,
I do. I do think that it's a needed ingredient because at the same time, if you keep playing with the same people at your age, you know what I'm saying, your caliber, you ain't getting nothing out of it.
So who helped you develop your game?
Charles Hollins. I would say I would give everything to him. There was times where he would have me come to the boys club on Sundays when it was closed and have me do drills, working out. And then even when it was time for the young kids to come out the gym and the older kids to come in, he would let me stay and I would play with the older kids.
That's during the week.
Right.
So when it was open, you're there, and then when they close and the agency is shutting down or shut down, Charles would allow you to stay to work on develop your skills.
Oh yes.
And then on Sundays when he's taking time off of work and his family, he's coming over there to allow you to work on your skills.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yes.
What'd you guys talk about? Life?
Everything. Life, sports, health. How to be a respectful young man, because there was a point in time where I ended up living with him for a summer.
Really?
Yes. I lived with him for a summer. He got me a summer job at the boys club, and I ended up staying with him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now, would you say that was something specific with Charles Hollins, or would you say Charles Hollins led the lead, but the staff also helped?
Yeah, I would say the staff helped too, but there was a lot of one-on-one with me and Charles. We had a bond.
Who stands out for you? A couple, you know, if it's more than one player or more than one team, let us know a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, obviously off the jump, Josh Presley, because we grew up playing together. We battled a lot at the boys club too.
Josh Presley played at Putnam. Legendary 1,000-point scorer. Go ahead.
We ended up battling in high school too, but Tim Blackshear was another one.
Tim Black.
Yep, that came up. Me and Tim had a couple battles too with the SBC versus Family Center. Good ones, real good ones.
Who'd you play for in the community besides the boys Crew Street? Like, did you play? Like, you know, Dunbar?
Nah, I didn't. I just played for the boys club. That was it.
And that's how you
the whole time.
Black. Who was Black? Was Family Center?
Right. Yup, family
this
center.
is before, while at Central High School?
No, this was when I was younger. I would say around 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. But as I got into high school, actually 8th grade, Desi Jackson introduced me to Wayne Simone.
Yeah.
He was the coach of Connecticut Select. He had Derek Kellogg, he had Edgar Padilla, Trav, Fred Smith.
Okay.
So yeah, he was taking a lot of kids out of Springfield.
Central kids, by the way.
Yep.
Okay.
So and Wayne was always looking for the next best thing. You know what I mean? 8th grader that was coming up. So a couple of those guys told him my name. He ended up picking me up in the 8th grade. I ended up playing on the younger team. Actually, I played on the 9th grade team when I was in 8th grade. Played up, exactly. Okay. And that's when I ran into Sam Smith. He was our point guard, and Malcolm Yelling.
So about that, okay.
Bucky Jones was on my team for 1 year.
Wayne Simone, what was that, a sneaker sponsored team, or was
yes,
this
Adidas.
Team?
No, this was they were Adidas sponsored. We played teams like BABC, which I ended up playing with them 1 year when I went to Vegas. Okay. But for the most part, I played for Connecticut Select.
Connecticut Select.
Yep.
Okay.
And we went all over the country playing.
Now, did you ever play against any Springfield teams against that level, or Springfield teams not playing at that level at that time?
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't. And that was the whole reason why I went to Connecticut Select.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because the next best thing was BABC, but that, that was too far, and actually I was too young. I really wasn't on the map at that time. But
So now, when you're traveling and you're with Wayne Simone, you guys Adidas sponsored, you're playing age up, you're in 8th grade, you're playing 9th grade ball.
Yep.
What are some of the things that stood out to you as you're traveling with these older guys on this sponsored team? What are some of the things that you learned or you were in awe of when you engaged in that process?
Well, it was important because I was always the youngest traveling with the older guys. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I'm traveling. Yeah, there it is. Yup. At the time, I'm playing on a team where everybody's good. You know what I'm saying?
1 through 12,
there's right, exactly. There's no mediocre on this team. You know what I mean? So you bring your best in practice and every weekend and every tournament.
Were you a point guard, 3-man? What did you play?
I played the point.
You played the point?
Yeah, I played the point.
Get about it,
small,
yeah.
I was 6 feet.
Okay.
And I played the point. Everybody else was 6'4", 6'5", 6'8". So yeah, I was running the point.
So, like, who are the highlights at that level that you remember going against?
Oh man, we played against Stephon Marbury. Steph. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. He roasted us. A couple times, but there was a couple tournaments where we got them too. Kind of vice versa. Zenda Hamilton. Yep. Okay. Felipe Lopez.
Felipe went to St. John's. Yep. Okay.
Sham God.
Yeah,
we played against him plenty of times too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a wealth of experience going against that caliber play. I mean, all these are highlighted D1 players who.
Right.
What did you learn from them playing against them?
Attack. Always got to attack. I mean, there wasn't too much defense being played. You know what I mean? AAU basketball, but you can't let down because they're coming after you. All the New York teams were so aggressive, and it brought the best out in you.
Right. It's talent dominating. So, what would you say to a youngster who needs to work, a 13-year-old right now, who needs to work? Yes, he got talent, but he's not there at 13.
Right.
What do you say?
Get in the gym, play against older kids.
What does this place mean to you?
It's priceless to me. At the same time, I grew up right back here in the Nursery Street Projects. We walked up the hill from the age of 6 to the age of 18. We walked up the hill right up in here. You know what I mean? We were at the day camp. We went to the overnight camp. Every day after school, Monday through Friday, we was here.
So that kind of makes sense as to why you would say that Charles will allow you to come be here on a certain day. Proximity is so close to the place.
Exactly.
You're right there. 8th grade summer, and you're looking to make a choice about high school.
Right.
So how did that plan out?
Well, first of all, my brother Rudy was already at Central. So it was kind of an easy choice. But I could honestly say that it was the basketball program there, meaning Travis Best and Fred Smith, Reggie Jackson, you know. At that time they were coming up. It was always a dream too for us two to play together, you know, on the high school circuit too. It was good that when I came in as a freshman, he was a senior. Well, actually, when I came in as a sophomore, because my 9th grade year, I ended up failing off. I wasn't able to play.
How was that for you?
I was being a little knucklehead. It hurt bad because at the same time, I was already being ranked with the AAU going on and playing during the summers.
And I really wanted to touch a little bit about that. So I want to talk about what were you ranked, and what was your rank?
I was ranked number 2 in the nation in guards as a freshman. I think when it kind of really took off was I was playing for Connecticut Select AAU, you know, traveling, doing good.
Right.
Leo Papil from BABC.
Yeah.
I ended up, for some reason, every time we played them, I scorched them. So it was the summer of 9th grade where Wayne Turner couldn't travel with them to Las Vegas. Right.
Professional.
Right. Wayne Turner. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Out of Boston. Yep. He couldn't make the trip, so Leo Papil ended up calling me up and asking me to take the trip to Nationals to Vegas with BABC. And that was like gold. You know what I mean? To go to Las Vegas on a circuit like that, in the Nationals,
stage like that.
And stage like that. I played with Chris Herron, Eggy McCrae, Randall Jackson, Jamal Jackson, rest in peace. I had the 2 Curly brothers on my team.
Wow.
Scooney Penn. I mean, we was loaded.
You loaded. Okay.
Come to find out, we ended up winning it. We won the Nationals that year. You know what I mean? Chris Herron ate everybody up. Like
He's
usual.
Really that player,
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Ex-Boston Celtics star.
Yep.
Player.
Yep. Boston College.
Yep.
Yeah. So since then, I mean, it kind of took off, and all the letters started coming in, boxes and boxes. Syracuse, West Virginia, Providence, UMass.
But you're number 2 in the nation, so
right.
it's fair to say all the top programs, or most, has.
Right. Oh yeah.
How did that make you feel?
My head got big. I mean, being the age that I was, I mean, it didn't help that I was cocky. I mean, I think that helped me, you know, have the skills that I had on the court. Is in the confidence. You know, confidence is key to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I kind of instill in my son too. And coming back from Vegas, I was on a high horse. You know what I mean? But it was a good thing for me because I had failed off the team before. You know what I mean? So I got my, you know, my self-esteem, or how you say, my confidence up.
That's right.
And came back to my 10th grade year, the only year I played. I ended up playing football first.
Okay.
Wide receiver. First team all Western Mass.
Told me was nasty.
You know, I killed them. We won the Super Bowl that year.
Okay.
And then we came into basketball season that year. We were looking good. We had a lot of battles. Me and Josh, we battled it out at Putnam. Cathedral always gave us a run. The game at the Civic Center, what everybody was talking about before. Holyoke was up 3.
This Larry Gilbert years, no?
Yes.
Larry
Played against Larry Gilbert, Robert Sisson, Ramon Cosby.
That's right. A lot of legendary local players.
We were at the Civic Center. They were up 4. I'm pretty sure they were up 4. A couple seconds left. I ended up hitting a 3 off the bank and then stealing it from Ramon.
Central, however, did make the game interesting in the final 18 seconds. Down by 3, Shawn Smith made a tough 3-point basket, which he followed by a steal and an easy 2-point layup, giving Central a convincing 2-point lead with less than 5 seconds to go. Holyoke, showing why they are the #1 team in Western Massachusetts, never gave up and received a 3-point basket from Robert Sisson at the buzzer to lift them to a 55-54 win over Central. It was a game that the Eagles could have and maybe should have won.
At Central High School, what are some of the great memories you have about being here?
Oh, football. The football was big, man.
Football.
Us going undefeated, still the only team out of Central to go undefeated and win a Super Bowl.
Being ranked #2 nationally at the high school level as a point guard in United States. Again, #2 point guard, ranked #2 in the country. And then you fail in school. Tell me what the low of that failing did for you.
It made me realize that you can't have nothing handed to you. You got to work hard for it. And by me failing, I kind of was taking advantage of the system, you know, not studying, not caring, not going to class. And it made me hit rock bottom. It made me hit, you know what I'm saying, the bottom.
So what was some of the perks of you not going to class? Like, was teachers not saying nothing? Like, what were some of the perks of you being the #2 guy in the country, walking around the hallways right in here in Central?
Oh no, I didn't have to go to class. I went, did do the work. There was teachers that really didn't care. You know what I mean? Let me slip by. And then you did have some, like Coach McLaughlin, who put me under his wing when I played football, who checked on me for all my classes my sophomore year, which ended, I mean, me playing football and having him on my back, going to my classes, making sure I'm doing the right thing, had me get the grades to play basketball after football. You know what I mean? And then after that, after basketball season, you know what I mean? Right.
Now it's on you.
Right.
Now let's talk a little bit about you, because we easily can say it's everybody else's fault. But what was Smitty's responsibility in this situation?
To do the right thing. I mean, to set a good example, because I was a leader here at Central, and I think I let a lot of people down, but at the same time I let myself down.
That's right.
And a lot of people looked up to me, a lot of my friends and acquaintances, and I felt like I let them down and myself. So a change needed to happen. And I ended up leaving and going to MCI. It was a prep school in Maine. They were #3 in the nation in prep schools. Maine Central Institute, yes. Sam Cassell came out of there. Shout out to Sam Cassell. Yeah, I went out there for a year. It was tough, because prep school, you got study hall. I didn't have none of that, practice on stuff like that, or any the academics was top notch.
Would you say that goes with the sports preparation as well? Because I'm sure they zero in on sports preparation as well as academic preparation.
Right.
Were you ready for those type of intense practices and situations?
I wasn't, but I made myself quick ready for it. I looked at it as a challenge. You ever think you couldn't do it? No, I knew I could do it if I applied myself to it, definitely.
You go to MCI, you play there. What does that matriculate into from there?
Actually, my academics wasn't as up to par as they were better than when I was here at Central, but they weren't to the point where I could go D1. So at this time, from prep school, I ended up going JUCO.
Junior college?
Yes. A school is Saddleback, a junior college in Southern California, Mission Viejo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you leave Springfield, go to Maine, leave Maine and go to Southern California.
Right.
What's that like?
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. It was a small campus. My roommate was Anthony Carter, played for the Miami Heat. Yeah. Played for Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh yeah. Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Didn't know that.
He was my roommate for a year. Then he ended up leaving and going to University of Hawaii. I stayed there for a year, played, everything was all right. Got the homesick thing going. I ended up coming back home. And I transferred to McCook, Nebraska after that.
So Joe Ragland isn't the first to go to Nebraska.
Right.
You were there.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I ended up going out there. The coach, actually Wayne Simone, connected me with the coach out there. He came down here, flew down here, met with me, showed me the plan on how the school was. It was in the middle of nowhere. So you know what I mean? The homesick thing was out the window. It was either go there and pursue, you know what I'm saying, my future, or stay home and
figure it out.
Right. So I ended up going out there. I graduated from there, came home, and had 2 beautiful kids.
Okay.
And I work in human resources right now with troubled youth. I love it.
What I'm hearing through our interviews, at each location, I keep hearing the name Wayne Simone. And I heard you mention earlier about mentoring. Let's talk a little bit about, and I'd like you to be straight honest about this in your feelings. How is mentoring impactful as far as you're concerned? And how do you view it versus then and now? Because now it's kind of a cool thing to be a mentor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Speak to a little bit about that.
Wayne Simone, I put him in a category with Charles Hollins. Took me under their wing. I've stayed with Wayne too before. He's helped me out. He's helped my family out. A very good mentor. I would say that, you know, nowadays, the mentoring that I got with them, that's going on, but I feel like a lot of people are doing it so they can get something out of it and not looking, you know, to improve in the kids.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
How do you filter that out? Like for Shawn, I'm sure you said he played sports, and you know, how did you filter out keeping the snakes in the grass versus the good character involved with your son? How did you do that?
Well, it starts at home. I say that all the time, you know what I mean? It starts at home in the household and raising your kids to be respectful and to treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think at the end of the day, someone that's in your kid's life, as long as they're looking out for their future and it benefits the kid, then it's fine. You know what I mean?
Character's everything. The word is everything.
Right.
Follow through is everything. Again, if you're in 8th grade and Shawn Smith is now the #2 point guard in the country, and you know everything that you know now, as a grown man with a family, doing well, but you're in 8th grade, what would you tell yourself about your future and how you're going to do things?
I would have definitely stayed at Central, due to the fact that I passed, I made the grades, I was on the right track, I was ranked. There was no reason for me to leave here, due to the circumstances like outside of my life. But I think if I would have stayed at Central, I would have accomplished more. Family members would have seen me play.
Well, Smitty, this has been great, even though you're a Celtics fan. Really appreciate you sharing your story, and I'm hoping you young people really pay attention to what has happened here and learn from Shawn Smith. Much appreciated, brother.
Thank you.
What's up, y'all? It's Bilquis Abdul-Qadir, native of Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm here to just give you all some inspiring and motivational words before the season. Many of you all know I played basketball at New Leadership Charter School, ended up getting a full scholarship to the University of Memphis, and then later on Indiana State University. And let me tell you, I learned a lot on my journey. And I learned the most when I was told I couldn't play pro ball because of my religious beliefs. That right there showed me that basketball can be taken away in a split second. And it doesn't only happen when it's injury. So I want you all to never take a second of ball for granted, whether that's training, whether that's practice, or whether that's in a game. Understand that basketball is a tool, and it's a tool that you can use to create a future for yourself. So if you're aiming to get a full scholarship at whatever division, do what you have to do to get there, and understand that education is key in all of this. I'm grateful for the degrees that I have attained during my basketball career. And with that being said, I want to give a special shout out to Jelena. Congratulations on signing to Weber State. Enjoy it, make the most out of it, and most importantly, keep those grades up, because that paper is what matters when you step off that court after your 4 years. Good luck this season, and I'll be up that way soon to see some games.